Welcome, everyone, to a very special edition of Suplexes, Scores, and Save Points. It's Wrestlemania season, so we decided to jump on the train, and we are doing the greatest Wrestlemania match of all time and the most scientific way possible, by our personal opinion. I am Ryan, and we got the full crew here today. I'm being joined by Jeff.
Mr. Brock Lesnar.
And, of course, my regular co-host, my brother, Nathan.
There better not be any Mr. McMahon matches in this.
There might be one.
Oh, God.
I think I did put, actually, there could be two. I'm not sure.
Might be 1 or 5. I don't know.
There could be 2. I don't know. I don't even remember. I did this so long ago. I don't remember all the matches I put on here. But, yeah, there's at least one. I see it. So, how this is going to work, we have 64 matches put into a random bracket that I randomize. So 2 random matches will go head-to-head. As an example, the Kennel from Hell versus some other match. We will discuss it for a little bit, then we will vote. The Kennel of Hell is not in this match, by the way. We will discuss it. We will then put in a vote. The most votes moves on to the next round. We will do that until we crown a winner, like I said, in the most scientific way possible. So I tried to do one match from every Mania, but there are a couple Manias that absolute dog shit, and I did not include any of them, like 9. WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania 2, and WrestleMania, I think 11. I don't have any matches from because those are all absolutely terrible. And there was not one standout match that I thought deserved to make it in the top 64. So, all right. Are you ready for the first matchup?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm trying to remember where all these Manias are from. I'm going to have to look some of these up because I do not remember where all of them are, what Mania they're from. But our first matchup is from WrestleMania 19, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, going up against Randy Orton versus CM Punk from WrestleMania 27. Punk and Orton is kind of an underrated match, in my opinion. I really like that match. It doesn't get a lot of hype behind it, but I thought that match was pretty good. But Lesnar and Angle is one of the best.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't remember much about that. That's kind of how I feel about that match. I don't remember much about Orton.
Yeah, it's underrated. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. There are a lot of filler matches in this thing because I needed 64 matches, so there are going to be some that probably aren't high on the list. Just to let you guys know.
What do you think, Jeff? I feel comfortable going out and throwing my vote for this out right away. I think it's a given, man. I don't know how you two feel. We'll get into that, but I feel like Angle and Lesnar takes this one.
Yeah,
I'm going with Jeff.
Yeah, I think we're gonna clean sweep this one. Lesnar and Angle it's a really good match. Even Lesnar doing a shooting star press and breaking his neck almost, but
that's why. I mean, I think that's what gives it the edge, man. It's a notable match for that botch. Everyone knows it.
And WrestleMania 19 will make another appearance on this show. The next matchup, Kofi Mania. Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan from WrestleMania. Was that 30? What was that? 35?
Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, WrestleMania 35. And then from WrestleMania 23, Undertaker versus Batista. So we got the two small guys and going up against the 2 powerhouses.
Undertaker Batista was okay, but it was kind of clunky. I mean, Batista was Batista. He wasn't the greatest. I think I'm going Kofi and Bryan on this one.
I think Undertaker Batista was really good. I liked it, but like you said, Batista is slow. But I think just for the moment that Kofi Mania was, and Kofi Kingston finally winning the title and I think just the WrestleMania moment surrounding that match gives it the edge for me. So I think I'm going to vote Kingston and Bryan as well.
Yeah, we're off to an interesting start, fellas, because that clean sweep of the night. I feel like Daniel and Kofi just had that build up, and I mean, Undertaker's going to be on this list a handful of times. We know that. Yes. And had a lot more reputable matches than Batista's. So,
yeah.
Also, by the way, we're voting on this however we want. For those people listening, we either going to vote this based on the match itself, the build, just the moment of the match. Some of the matches in this on this thing are not going to be the best wrestling match, but they're huge moments in time and huge WrestleMania matches. So again, we're voting on this based just how we feel, not just the best scientific wrestling match. Some of them could be just the best moment. So next one is two completely different matchups from WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. And from WrestleMania 22, Mickie James versus Trish Stratus, our first women's match. I'm going to be clear. There are not a lot of women's matches on this show or in this thing because for a long time, women did not get very long matches. So there's very few women's matches to pick from. So just keep that in mind. I mean, it's the Iron Man match is the Iron Man match. It's not much you can say. The only Iron Man match in WrestleMania history. But James and Stratus, it's a pretty good match.
And it was a history-making match.
Yes.
Boys, I think we might be headed towards our third clean sweep of the night. I don't know. You guys, I got to go with Trish and Mickie.
Ooh.
Well, personal bias here because this is one of my favorite matches of all time. I got to go with the Iron Man match.
See, I really enjoyed Trish Stratus and Mickie James as a match. It was one of the first women's matches that they had that actually got some time, and Mickie James' first title win. But it's hard to bet against the Iron Man match. And it's not for everybody. I know it's an hour and 10 minutes or whatever it was. And, there's a reason they didn't do another one at Mania because that card, other than this match, was not great. But I kind of I'm in the same boat as Nathan. This is one of my favorite matches. I've watched this match so many times. I can almost, like play by play what's happening before it happens. So I have to agree, and I have to go with the Iron Man match as well, just based on it's one of my favorites, and I've watched it so many times.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'll be honest. That was a toss up for me. Trying to throw our women's matches a little bit of love. Let's be honest here.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of them that I'm going to vote for sure. The next matchup, just from last year's WrestleMania 30, whatever the fuck, 37. Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan, going up against the first Money in the Bank match from WrestleMania 21. That was Edge, Kane, Benjamin, Jericho, Benoit, and somebody else. Christian.
We don't talk about Benoit.
Yeah,
he's on this list a couple times, unfortunately.
Oh man, this is tough.
It's very tough. Reigns, Edge, and Bryan was very good. Three guys who realistically probably shouldn't have been wrestling after Reigns had cancer and Edge and Bryan with their neck problems and everything. Money in the Bank, though, such a moment. History making, a great match. Like, it was set up perfectly and everybody had a spot to shine. And there were memorable moments like Benjamin climbing the ladders and flying over the ropes. And it's so hard to. This one's tough.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and I will throw out the first vote for Money in the Bank.
I'm gonna go against the grain here, Ryan. I'm not gonna be the guy that goes vintage every time, even though I'm an old school wrestling fan. I'm gonna go with the triple threat just for that reason. Like those three guys probably shouldn't have been wrestling at all anymore, and they're all kind of made their comeback all at the same time. It was a moment.
It was a moment.
Oh boy, you guys are leaving me up to decide this damn thing. This might be where my new school-esque, being younger generation kind of comes in, but I'm such a big fan of Edge, such a big fan of Bryan, and I mean for Roman, I didn't like him, kind of never liked him, but I thought he needed work on the mic and work on his character. And when this match took place, whenever he was the epitome of building his new character and being himself, and I got to give it to the triple threat.
Oof. I mean, honestly, I'm not mad at it. That's one of that Mania. That was probably the best match because I honestly can't remember anything else from that fucking Mania. But and it was just last year. But
I remember Samoa Joe getting rained on with Michael Cole. That was about it.
Yeah. The next match we've got Shawn Michaels. I mean, he's gonna make a lot of appearances on this tournament. Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair from WrestleMania 24. Ric Flair's retirement, and then Daniel Bryan versus Batista versus Randy Orton from WrestleMania 30.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, these are going to be hard. A lot of these are just going to be impossible, man.
Sorry, well, Ryan, can you repeat that second match again? I was coughing. And
Daniel Bryan versus Batista versus Orton from WrestleMania 30.
Oh, God.
So we got probably for Ric Flair's age at the time, a very fantastic match against Shawn Michaels. But again, we have the moment that was Daniel Bryan winning the world title.
Yeah, you got Ric Flair's retirement versus Daniel Bryan's title win. This is God damn.
Yeah. I mean, Ric Flair recently said that Daniel Bryan is not as good as AJ Styles, so maybe Daniel Bryan gets some revenge here.
Both of these could be top 10 in this thing.
Yes, they very well could. Like I said, I randomized it because I was not going to go through here and try to pick 1 through 64 because I feel like that would give me some bias towards the ones I liked better.
Yeah.
So it's 100% random because I feel like that's the easiest way to do this without being biased. So, like I said, I haven't looked at any of these matchups beforehand either. I just put them in here and saved it. So.
Well, moment-wise, I'd probably go Bryan, but I'm gonna lean on this one a little more towards the wrestling. Because it was a moment and it was a good wrestling match, and I'm going Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, only because of that fact. The triple threat aspect of that match kind of made it to where it wasn't as good of a wrestling match.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Michaels Flair.
Oof, man.
I'm going to leave this one up to Ryan to decide. I am going to go with the triple threat once again.
Again, yeah, like Nathan said and Jeff said, you guys, like you both said, this is both these big moments. The wrestling, like Nathan said, the wrestling wise between Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair is better. But it's not Shawn Michaels' best match. It might be Ric Flair's best match at WrestleMania, but it's not Shawn Michaels' best match at WrestleMania. That's coming up. What I feel is his best match. I think just because I look at this as an overall match, moment, build, everything. The build up to this match with the fans and everything to the triple threat, I feel like was insane. And this was the few moments in wrestling where the fans actually dictated what was going to happen at WrestleMania. And completely changed this match because it was supposed to just be Orton and Batista. That was the original plan. And with Daniel Bryan beating Triple H earlier in the night. So just based on the build and everything, I have to go with the triple threat.
All right.
Even though I love Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. But again, it's not Shawn Michaels' best match. And it's just the triple threat, man, was so much better. Just as far as build and moment and everything. So the next match.
We're learning a little bit here. We're learning that Jeff really likes his 3-ways.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you know, it takes a lot to get to a 3-way. We've learned that before, and many. It's a good build-up.
All right, the next matchup, the original, probably greatest moment in WrestleMania history: Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3, going up against Undertaker versus Triple H from WrestleMania 17, which was their street fight. So again, this one is going to be
last on this one.
This one is different because we've got not a great match in Hogan and Andre, but the biggest moment of all time versus a street fight, which was all over the place and chaotic Attitude Era style. So two completely different things in this one.
Well, I'll start this off, fellas. Mark me down for Hogan and Andre. Just the, it's just lineage of it for me.
I'm going to go basically the same thing I said in the last match. This is not either Undertaker or Triple H's best match at Mania. It might be their best match together at Mania because it's way better than I feel like than their Hell in a Cell and the other match. But just the moment. I mean, Hogan and Andre is the greatest moment in WrestleMania history. Regardless of what you feel about Hogan, whatever, you can't top that moment. Him slamming Andre and in front of that many people was the first time they had that many people.
Not just the first time, it's one of the only times.
Yeah, I got to go Hogan Andre. Just based on the moment itself and Andre turning heel and all that build, it's hard to bet against it. So I got to go Hogan Andre. Nathan,
that's what I was going to go with too. So
okay, so your vote didn't matter anyway.
Yep.
All right, next match. We have another Undertaker match. He's probably going to have a bunch more here. Undertaker versus Punk from WrestleMania. Was that 27? 29 versus Becky Lynch versus Rousey versus Flair. Another triple threat from WrestleMania 30. What was that match? 35. Again.
So that was the first women's main event, right?
Yes. This was the first main event for the women.
I got to go with that.
Yeah, they main evented this show. Undertaker Punk again is a good match, but it wasn't. It's not. I keep saying the same thing, but yeah, it's not that great.
Plus, at the time, CM Punk was kind of disappointed that he wasn't the main event, and so I don't know if he put everything he had into that match.
No, I feel the same way.
Yeah, at least he didn't oversell like Shawn Michaels did in his match. He wasn't happy.
So yeah, I think we're all kind of in agreement with this one, right?
Yeah.
Triple threat. Another triple threat moves on.
I'll take it back. We all like our 3-ways.
Next match, we've got one of the cinematic matches from WrestleMania 30, whatever. I'm sorry, but all my matches go together. WrestleMania 36, Undertaker and Styles and the Boneyard match going up against TLC from WrestleMania 17.
Oh, well, hell. This is no-brainer. TLC, man. I mean, you can't root for the Boneyard match over that. I mean,
of the two cinematic matches that year, the Boneyard match was not the better one. The Firefly Funhouse match was way better than this, which I don't know if I had it on this list, but yeah, the Boneyard match was fun, but it wasn't really a match. It was more of a movie. So, and TLC again making history, first ever TLC match. You had the involvement of Lita, Rhino, and Spike. Pretty much really one of my favorite matches of all time in Mania history, honestly. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go TLC as well.
Yeah, TLC for the win. I mean, oh god, it's gonna be tough, fellas.
All right. We've got the next matchup. Undertaker versus... What did I do? Wait a minute. Sorry. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels 2 from WrestleMania 26. And Rhea Ripley versus Asuka from WrestleMania 37.
No,
I think this is another no-brainer. I think this is another no-brainer for me.
Well,
again,
let's hear Jeff's. Let's hear Jeff's opinion first.
Yeah, let's let Jeff go first.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but Mr. Shawn and Taker.
Again, I kind of put this match in here, Rhea Ripley and Asuka. It's one of the filler matches that I kind of threw in here. The way I did this was I just went through every Mania, picked the best match, and then I went back through. And so this is one of the late additions to this tournament, Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels 2, not as good as their first match, but it's Shawn Michaels' retirement, so it's again big moment.
To be fair, guys, like you said, it wasn't as good as their first match, but there's slim pickings as to matches that would beat that.
Yeah. I think Jeff just spoiled his pick to win the whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go Undertaker Michaels too. I'm sure Nathan is probably in the same boat.
Yeah, no offense to the ladies, but
no,
yeah.
Ripley and Asuka was a great match, but that was a bad matchup. It was not gonna win that one. All right, Undertaker versus another Undertaker match here. Undertaker versus Kane, their first one from WrestleMania 14, versus Orton and Triple H from WrestleMania 20. What was that? 26? Or was that 25?
You're asking the wrong guy.
It was 25. This was their the big feud where Triple H broke into Randy Orton's house, and then Orton kissed Stephanie on the lips, and
man, I gotta spoil my pick for this one right away. I don't even gotta hear anymore. That match, I don't know if it's just because I'm a big Triple H fan, I'm a big Orton fan. For me, that build up, the legacy storyline, everything that went on, that match, that whole story and build up, that's it for me, fellas. That gets my vote.
Yeah. Undertaker and Kane was not a great match.
They did what, 17 tombstones in that match?
Well, not only that, but it was slow. Kane was just getting into his character. Like he'd only been Kane for, I guess he'd only been Kane for about 6 months.
Yeah, October or whatever.
So yeah, I definitely can't go with that one. I'm definitely going with Triple H and Orton.
Well, I'm gonna throw my vote towards Undertaker and Kane. It doesn't matter, but I'm gonna throw my vote towards Undertaker and Kane. I don't know why. I just, I'm just about in there. All right, next matchup, another triple threat, as we've got Benoit, Jericho, and Angle from WrestleMania 2000 for the Intercontinental and European titles, and my personal favorite Shawn Michaels match, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 21. So two Kurt Angle matches here. I think I just boiled the one I'm going to vote for, so my vote goes towards Angle and Michaels. And you guys can battle it out for the other one.
I really didn't like the Angle Michaels match as much as you did.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go the three-way just because Jericho and he who should not be named. They put on a show in this match, and Angle did too, and that was a really good three-way. So I'm going with that one.
Man, put me on it. This is a toughie because both were good matches, but I got to side with Ryan. And Shawn, it's just lineage, man, and notoriety is a lot gonna be at stake in picking these.
Yeah. Plus, the build-up was great to Angle and Michaels. I love the build-up to that match. With Angle doing everything that Shawn Michaels did. It's great. Okay, so we got he who shall not be named again. And another triple threat, as we've got him versus Triple H for Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 20 for the world title. And then going old school, finally again, with Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage from WrestleMania 7. This was Randy Savage's first retirement when he was the Macho King.
Well, I'm going to go first here and just say I'm going to go a little weird because I don't want another three-way in this thing. So I'm going Macho Man and Warrior.
I don't want another three-way. All right, I'll let Jeff go next.
Oh boy. I'm just gonna leave it up to Ryan because I don't even know, man. So I'm gonna go with the three-way.
So the three-way was a big moment that will never be seen again, due to he who shall not be named actions. Honestly, though, it's a good moment, but as a match, it wasn't on par with some of these other triple threat matches. I don't think it was as good as the other triple threat matches that we've had in this tournament so far.
Plus, it was Shawn Michaels only. Is like
it was his second WrestleMania back, and he had just won the world title in the Elimination Chamber, and it was only like his fourth match.
Yeah.
So he wasn't on his A game yet. So Warrior and Savage, from what I remember, is a very good match. It's probably one of Ultimate Warrior's best matches, just due to Randy Savage being Randy Savage. So I'm gonna side with the old school and go Warrior and Savage. All right, next matchup: Austin versus Rock 2 from WrestleMania 17, and Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper from WrestleMania 8 for the Intercontinental title.
Ooh. You go first, Ryan.
Austin Rock 2 is probably, of the three, it's my favorite, and it's probably, in my opinion, the best of the three. Even though it had the stupid Stone Cold heel turn at the end, and we're siding with Vince, which I didn't agree with, but the match itself was good. Hart and Piper, though, damn good match. Two really good, it's fantastic. So this one's tough. I'm gonna go just based on due to the fact that they had the stupid heel turn at the end with Austin, kind of puts the match down a little bit. So I'm gonna say Hart and Piper.
All right, Jeff, you go next.
Directing traffic.
Man, man, these are tough. What did I sign up for? I feel like my gut's telling me Austin and Rock, just because they're both so influential in, WWE and wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever, however you may call it. They're just so influential in it. It's hard to bet against them.
All right.
Well, it's up to you, Nathan.
I am going to agree with Jeff. I'm going Rock Austin.
Ooh, damn. I mean, I'm not mad at it. It's a good match.
Nate was directing traffic was because he was delaying his pick because he didn't have his pick yet.
I'm very surprised that Ryan went with Bret Hart, considering on our last wrestling podcast, he called Bret Hart very underrated.
Overrated.
I mean.
Overrated. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I said he was overrated.
I mean, look, you're not entirely wrong.
All right. We're got another Rock matchup. We've got Rock versus Cena 1 from WrestleMania 28, the once in a lifetime, even though it ended up being twice in a lifetime versus the original triangle ladder match from WrestleMania 2000, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys. So if you're into the car crash matches, that match is probably one of your favorites. Honestly, it's probably better than Rock and Cena, but Rock and Cena was a kind of a big moment due to, it was the two generations coming together.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, man, it's the ladder match because
it's so fun.
I know you said that that first TLC was your favorite, but this is my all-time favorite of these three teams going against each other.
The triangle ladder match is such a fun match, and it's so well put together. And there was no mistakes. There was no like everything flowed perfectly.
Except for Christian getting a ladder through his arm, but other than that,
no. Yeah,
you don't have that.
It's a ladder match. All right, Jeff, I'm gonna let you go next.
Yeah, I was a fan of the Rock and Cena match, not gonna lie, but I got to go with the triple threat, TLC deal, just because when you ask most people, wrestling fans, which one they have heard of more of or saw more videos of or stuff, it's the TLC match because there's a hell of a lot more batshit crazy stuff. I don't think there's a single crazy or shocking thing in the Cena Rock match.
Yeah, Rock and Cena was your basic match. Finisher. Yeah, I'm gonna agree, even though it doesn't really matter. But yeah, the triangle ladder match is so fun. Honestly, when I said TLC was my favorite, I think I may have forgotten which one was which.
Yeah, I think you did too.
The triangle ladder match is so much fun. All right, so we've got Seth Rollins versus Triple H from WrestleMania 33, and Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania 21.
Oh man,
Guerrero and Mysterio is so good.
Yeah, that one's got my vote, and you fellas want to know why? Because I don't know if it was just that forgettable of a match, but I don't remember Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
I don't remember the match at all. All I remember is the build-up with Seth Rollins coming out on TakeOver, one of those takeovers. That's the only thing I remember about that feud. I don't remember the match at all. The only moment I remember is Triple H knocking Stephanie off the apron, but I don't remember the match. So
yeah, the only thing I remember is Seth Rollins hitting him with a pedigree.
Yeah, that tells you that match was probably pretty forgettable. If none of us can remember, it didn't happen that long ago.
But that's when Seth Rollins got the name Kingslayer.
Just for that, I'm going against that match. I'm going Guerrero and Mysterio.
All right, Rey Mysterio and Eddie for the win.
Hell yeah! All right, this one is. I think this is going to be a clean sweep. We've got Undertaker versus Michaels 1 for WrestleMania 25, which we've already said is probably one of the greatest of all time, versus Edge versus Orton, which was the longest match of all time almost.
It was also a cinematic kind of match.
Yeah, it was the last man standing, I think. From WrestleMania 36, this was the last man standing match that went, about 40 some minutes. I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all already stated that Undertaker and Michaels is probably one of the best matches of all time.
We'll give them a little asterisk. They'll get a little caveat here, Ryan. It's probably the best match that was ever in front of no fans.
I mean, Edge and Orton was a fun match for Last Man Standing. It just went too long. If they would have cut the time down, I think I'd have more fun stuff to say about it. But it just kept going with no fans, and I couldn't handle it. But yeah, it was probably one of the best matches of that no fan era. So, all right. Next matchup, Triple H versus Chris Jericho from WrestleMania 18. That's 18. Triple H versus Chris Jericho from WrestleMania 18. And then another Jericho match as we have Chris Jericho versus Edge from WrestleMania 26.
That was the match where Edge had to retire, right? After.
Yeah.
No, that Edge's last match was against Alberto Del Rio. This was when he came back from his Achilles injury.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the next year. 20. I think I don't know. We got 2 Jericho matches. I don't know which one's better.
You go first, Jeff.
Oh boy. Judging by the fact that your homeboy here kind of forgot which Edge match that was, doesn't take anything away from the match. I'm sure, I kind of remember it. I remember there was like a spear running off of one table through another table or something, announced wise. So it was a pretty good, decent spot match, but Lineage wins out again, Triple H and Jericho.
Triple H and Jericho gets overlooked because this was on the same card as Rock and Hogan, which will be on this list later. I think a lot of people don't fondly remember how good of a match this actually was. And Edge and Jericho, again, it was a good match. It had its moments, but I'm along with Jeff here, Triple H and Jericho. I don't think people remember it was a really good match. It's just it gets overshadowed by all the other stuff on that card.
All right. I was going to go with the other Jericho match, Jericho and Edge, just because of the fact that it did get overlooked. And I don't think the fans were not into this match because they
wore themselves out. Yeah. All right. We've got Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 5. I had to look it up. And Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie from WrestleMania 34. So this was Ronda's debut match. And then Rude and Warrior. I'm going to go ahead and go first. Rude and Warrior's SummerSlam match was better than this match.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I thought this was a SummerSlam match.
They wrestled at WrestleMania 5. I just don't. Their SummerSlam match was way better. So based on that fact,
go ahead.
Based on that fact, I'm gonna go with Angle and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie. I remember actually really enjoying this match, and Ronda Rousey before she got what she is now, she impressed everybody, and I think she really looked good in this match. So for a debut match, this was really good. So I'm gonna go with the tag team match.
Man, for me, I gotta go Rousey, Triple H, and Stephanie and Angle there, just for pretty much the same reasons Ryan mentioned.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with too. Because, like I said, I thought the Rude match was a SummerSlam
like I said,
match.
their SummerSlam match was better, but it was a rematch. But it was better. All right, we have another Warrior match. Warrior and Hogan from WrestleMania. What was that? 6?
6.
WrestleMania 6. The unification. And then the ladder match. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon from WrestleMania 10.
Oh, hell.
Another one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. I've watched this match on repeat so many times. I can tell you all the high spots in this match. And all the commentary almost.
Oh, boy. Well, both these matches were before Jeff was born. So, hey, Jeff, let's see what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Mine's got to go. Man, my heart's telling me Shawn and Razor just because RIP to Scott Hall. But whenever I hear about these matches, man, the thing, since it was before my time, the one I've heard of more, is Warrior versus Hogan. So that's what I'm going with.
It's iconic, Warrior Hogan. It really is. But I'm going to go biased a little bit and say Michaels and Razor.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, this is tough, dude. This is one of my favorite matches of all time against one of the biggest moments of all time.
It was also a moment that split fans. Were you a Warrior guy or a Hogan guy? I mean, two top baby faces going at it.
On the playground everywhere over this match.
And it was two baby faces, which never happened. So
yeah, for that fact, I think I'm going Warrior Hogan, Ryan.
I call that an upset. That is an upset, man. I thought Michaels and Razor had it in the bag.
It got beat in the first round, but it did.
Oh my god, that's an upset, dude. There's no way. That's insane. So from WrestleMania 24, we've got Undertaker versus Edge, and then from WrestleMania 23, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh man, I'm gonna go Undertaker Edge on this one because Shawn Michaels and John Cena, this was an okay match, but their match that they had on Raw was better.
Yeah, the hour-long Broadway they had.
Yeah.
Undertaker and Edge, this was the main event of 24. Technically, they were both undefeated. Edge lost in the Money in the Bank, but he had never been pinned, so this was their first match. The most standout moment for this match was Charles Robinson running down the ramp at 100 miles an hour. But Jeff, I'll let you go next. These are kind of your era.
I got to give it to Undertaker and Edge because same thing, Michaels and Cena, they, whether it's Rumble, Raw, whatever, they had better matches than their Mania one.
Yep. Undertaker and Edge for me too. This led to their SummerSlam match, which me and Nathan saw live. The Hell in a Cell. All right. So we've got from one Undertaker match to another Undertaker match because he's had a bunch of them, folks. We've got from WrestleMania 30, Lesnar versus Undertaker, where Lesnar broke the streak. This is insanity. These two matches going up against each other. Versus Icon from WrestleMania 18, Hogan versus Rock.
Holy shit.
Two unbelievably big moments. Not the best matches, but two insane moments in wrestling and in WrestleMania. Oh, man.
Well, they were both major moments. But I'm going to go with the one that was also a better match. I'm going to go Lesnar Taker.
What?
Yeah.
You shocked me there. Because I was going to say the same thing. They're both good moments, but I thought the better match was Hogan and Rock.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, we're moving it up to you.
Well, thanks, guys. But this may... Actually, it won't shock because of my whole statement at the beginning of this freaking podcast. But I got to go with Undertaker and Lesnar just because of the culmination of the streak coming to an end finally. And, Taker gave it his all in that match, man. He left it all out there.
Yeah.
Through concussion and all. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Undertaker Lesnar, I don't know. It was a good match, but it is probably the bigger moment, the streak coming to an end, because I don't think anyone actually expected it to happen. So,
no.
All right, so we've got Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero from WrestleMania 20, and CM Punk versus Chris Jericho from WrestleMania 28. Two WWE Championship matches.
I'll go last on this one.
Okay. Punk and Jericho, the build-up to me was better than the match. And it probably had something to do with, again, Punk probably thought he should have been main eventing, and he didn't. The build-up was great with the whole, Punk's father being an alcoholic and all that stuff. Match-wise, Guerrero and Angle is way better. This was when Guerrero was on the top of his game and Kurt Angle was on top of his game. So based on that, I'm going to go Guerrero Angle because I think the match is better than Punk and Jericho. Punk's one of my favorites. I love Punk, but I think Guerrero and Angle's a better matchup here. Jeff?
Man. Why you gotta do this to me, guys? I'm not gonna give no reasoning behind it, just because there isn't much reasoning behind it. But we're going Punk and Jericho, fellas.
All right, Nathan.
I really don't remember Punk and Jericho that much. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Angle and Eddie. You can't beat the moment with Eddie slipping his boot.
Yep.
So don't want that.
Good moment. We do have it on here. The other Sips match, Fiend versus Cena and the Firefly Funhouse match versus Hogan versus Savage from WrestleMania 5?
4. 5.
5. 4 was the tournament. 5.
Yeah.
Fiend and Cena is a fun match, but come on. I mean, I don't think it's up there with Hogan Savage. It's a fun match, but it's not really a match. I put them on there as like kind of just they were the best things from that Mania, but I don't think it competes with Hogan and Savage.
Yeah. Definitely going Hogan Savage on this one.
Yeah. I mean, Fiend Cena is a fun match, but it's not really a match. I mean,
yeah, it's I loved it and all. The whole ruthless aggression, but
that's good shit.
Yeah, you can't vote for that match and be okay with living anymore.
All right. So we've got the next matchup: AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura from WrestleMania 34 versus Savage, Randy Savage versus Ric Flair from WrestleMania 8.
I'll tell you what my vote isn't going to, fellas. It's not going to AJ and Shinsuke because that match was a pure letdown.
Good matchup up until the end when Shinsuke turned heel for no reason. Should have had him win the damn thing. Yeah, and for that fact, just because Shinsuke should have won and didn't win, Savage and Flair.
Yeah, Savage and Flair was a good match. It was Ric Flair's first WrestleMania match and then his last WrestleMania match until he WCW went.
17.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you got to go Savage and Flair. They were two of the legends at the top of their game.
So we're going way old school with this one. The very first ever WrestleMania main event, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff, going up against Chris Jericho and CM Punk from WrestleMania 32. Or sorry, Jericho versus Styles. Sorry.
I was going to say, what the hell? They wrestled twice?
Jericho versus Styles from WrestleMania 32. This was Styles' first match. Is this his first Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was after the Y2AJ stuff.
Yeah, it was his first Mania. So we got, Styles' first Mania, Jericho's last Mania, I'm pretty sure. Unless he wrestled Kevin Owens the year before. After, I'm not sure. All these matches run together, dude. I don't. Versus the original main event, very first one. So, I don't know. I mean, match wise, if you're going by match quality, there's one winner, but it's more than that.
For being the first WrestleMania, I think a lot of the other stuff on that Mania was more impactful than this main event. Yeah, you had Muhammad Ali out there. You had Mr. T, who was, I guess, a big celebrity. But the match was not that great. There was a bunch of madness. You had
You had Orton and Superfly getting involved. It was just insane.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Jericho. Yeah, I'm going the Jericho match.
Honestly, I have to agree. It's the first ever main event, but it's not that great.
No.
So I'm gonna agree and say Jericho Styles.
Yep, sweeping the board.
All right, we've got Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair from last year's WrestleMania versus Austin versus Rock 1 from WrestleMania 15. I don't think their 15 matchup was as good as the other ones. 19 was the worst one in my opinion, but I think 17 I liked more. And Belair and Banks led the main event night 1 of last year's WrestleMania. Bianca Belair got her big moment, winning the title. I'm gonna go for Belair and Banks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went new school over old school. It didn't happen very often.
What you got, Jeff?
Sorry to say, but this is gonna make Nate's pick null and void. But I'm going Bianca and Sasha because it was a good match. Really good match, honestly, between the two. The only thing I'm not fond of, and I thought they were leading to this past week on Raw, but didn't, is Bianca's freaking hair. But yeah, I still gotta give. I could put that aside and still give that match the win.
All right, I think a lot of people would call that an upset.
Yeah, I would think so. But hey, when the chicks are good, the chicks are good. You know, though, you say that, Jeff. That I think that could be the finish of this women's match. Spoiler alert for my picks for Mania.
Ooh.
I think Becky's gonna win and cut her hair off.
Ooh. All right. Interesting. We got some spoilers alert on this one. I didn't expect that. The next matchup, Undertaker versus Sid from WrestleMania 13 versus Owen Hart versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 10.
Oh man, Undertaker Sid was a boring match. Definitely going Bret Hart, Owen Hart.
Hart versus Hart is probably the best opening match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, you an argument out on that.
Yeah, Taker Sid's boring. But honestly, WrestleMania 13 as a whole is pretty fucking boring. Like, I think the only thing is like Austin and Brett is like the one thing on that show that's worth anything.
Yeah.
The next matchup, we got Edge versus Mick Foley in the hardcore match from WrestleMania 22, going up against Randy Savage versus Ted DiBiase from WrestleMania 4, the finals of the WWF Championship tournament. Savage's first title win.
You go first, Jeff.
Man, I'm a big Macho Man fan, but man. God, I'm supposed to not be having anxiety after work, fellas, but I gotta go with Foley and Edge, man. One of the most memorable Mania moments from my recollection is the spear through the flaming table.
All right, Nathan, I'll let you go next.
This is gonna surprise you, Ryan, but I'm going Foley and Edge also.
You know what? It doesn't surprise me because I'm going Foley and Edge too.
All right.
It's such a moment that you can't go against it. All right. You asked for no Vince matches, Nathan, but I did include one. Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon from WrestleMania 18. Is that 18? Or was that 17?
I don't think it was 18.
It was 17 because it was the same time. Yeah, Hogan or Austin and Rock. Shane and Vince from there, and then Cesaro versus Rollins from last year's WrestleMania.
Well, that's a random one.
I needed filler, Nathan. I needed filler. All right.
You didn't have Bret Hart and Stone Cold in.
We're not done yet. We still got more to go.
Damn, I feel like this is more than 64. Fucking. All right.
We're gonna have to start going quick through the next rounds.
Yeah.
It's Shane and Vince for me.
Go ahead, Jeff, just in case your pick is different than mine.
I got to go with one Cesaro and Rollins just because, Cesaro doesn't get enough love for his work, and that was a pretty damn good match.
I can't lie with that, but no, I can't do it. Yep, Cesaro and
God damn it! Shane and Vince is a good match. Damn it!
Yeah, can't
But
do
you
it.
sit there and you say that's a random one. Then you put it through to the next round.
You know what, Ryan? What do you get with this podcast? You get random third nothingness that leads to something.
All right, next matchup: Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho from WrestleMania 19, going up against John Cena versus Triple H from WrestleMania 22.
Man.
Yeah. This was two very, very, very good matches.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all I'm going to sit this one out unless you need me to break a tie because I don't want to have to choose between these two.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Cena and Triple H is very good. Michaels and Jericho, both phenomenal matches. I'm a big fan of both Jericho and Shawn Michaels. But Cena and Triple H, with Cena making Triple H tap out, is a pretty historic moment. This was Cena's first title defense at Mania. He won it the year before. I think I'm going to, I don't know. I don't know why, but this match, I like it. And I think I'm going to go Cena Triple H. Surprising, because I really like the Jericho Michaels match, but.
Yeah. I think I'm going Jericho Michaels. I think Jericho and Michaels is one of my favorite Chris Jericho matches of all time.
It's very good. It's phenomenal. Probably top 10.
Well,
even though he can't throw a super kick to save his life.
No. We'll just see how close to a top 10 that is. Jericho's and Michael is going to be moving on.
Yeah, I mean, good. I'm not mad at it. All right. The final matchup. Oh, no, we got two more matchups in the first round. Sorry. We got Orton versus Rollins from WrestleMania 31. Going up against the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage from WrestleMania 3. I'm going Steamboat Savage. Even though Orton Rollins, the moment of the RKO is one of the best moments, but overall match quality, Steamboat Savage is still to this day amazing. So it's got my vote. I don't care what you guys do in the other one. I'm not your votes. Just know the internet may hate you if you go a certain way.
What do you got, Jeff?
For this one, for me, fellas, I gotta go with my era, Orton and Rollins.
Oof. I mean, yeah, Steamboat Savage is, is old, so I can understand that.
I mean, halfway because of that, and halfway because that RKO is just so damn spectacular.
It's the best. It's one of the best RKOs. All right, Nathan.
I knew it was possible. Let's just put it that way.
So, match-wise, yeah, maybe Steamboat and Savage. Moment-wise, definitely the RKO. I think honestly, man, not very many people remember a lot of the stuff that happened in that Savage match. They just remember it being one of the best matches.
I guess that's true.
So I'm going with Rollins and
my God. Here I was. I just called it the greatest WrestleMania match ever, and it's eliminated in the first round. Holy shit.
That's what happens when you get tough matchups.
All right, so we're ending it. Last matchup of the first round with two Stone Cold matches. We've got the aforementioned Bret Hart versus Austin from WrestleMania 13, and we've got the main event from the year before at WrestleMania 12, or the year after WrestleMania 14, Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. So two matchups that were very similar, right next to each other in the same era here.
Well, I'll let Jeff go second on this one, right? You're going to have to wait till the end. Okay. I think Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold was okay. Shawn Michaels had a broken back. He couldn't really go the way he wanted to. They had to do a lot of fuckery outside the ring to make it a match. It had some moments, but nothing beats that bloody Stone Cold face at the end of that Austin Bret Hart match, and that's what made Austin 316. Definitely going with that match.
Yeesh. Oh boy. If I'm tied to a pole here, which I feel like I am, I gotta go with son of a bitch. Hart and Austin.
I agree. The only thing I will say, the only thing that stands out the Austin Michaels match is Mike Tyson. And then Austin obviously winning the title for the first time. So, all right, we are down to 32. Here we go. Second round. First matchup, Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle versus Kofi, Kingston, and Bryan.
All right, so we already talked about the matches, so I'm going to make my picks pretty quick on this round.
Yeah.
I'm going Brock Lesnar Angle on this one.
Make that 2.
Let's make it a queen sleep. Yeah. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart Iron Man match versus Reigns, Edge, and Bryan. I'm going to go Iron Man match, as for all the reasons I said earlier.
I'll jump in second here, make Nate be the tiebreaker, because I'm going with the triple threat.
Jeff loves his 3 ways.
Jeff and his 3 ways. I'm going to go with him, though. I'm going with the triple threat, Ryan. I think the Iron Man match was great, but it was too long for a lot of people. And
what?
Yeah, I'm eliminating it. Yeah.
I am shocked. Nathan, the picks you are making are completely blowing my mind right now. My God. All right. Are you going to go with this triple threat? Daniel Bryan, Batista, and Orton going up against Hogan and Andre.
Well, I sure as hell am.
Nathan, go ahead. You were tiebreaker.
I got to go Hogan and Andre on that one.
As much as I love that triple threat, I still think you can't beat the moment of Hogan Andre. So I'm gonna go with Hogan and Andre as well. Another triple threat: Lynch, Rousey, and Flair versus the TLC. I will vote for this triple threat.
Which TLC?
The TLC, not the triangle. The TLC.
All right,
not the first ladder match. This is the second.
I'm going Lynch, Rousey, and Flair then.
All right. Another 3-way moves on. All right.
All knew there.
Undertaker, Michaels 2 versus Orton and Triple H.
Orton and Triple H for me.
I kind of saw that coming. I'm gonna. Oh man, I don't know.
It was the more forgettable of the two, Michaels and Taker.
I mean, I think people just remember it because it's Michael's retirement. But yeah, the first match was so much better. Oh, Nathan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going Triple H and Orton.
Yeah, I think I was torn that way too, just because I think the first one's so good that this one had no. Undertaker and Michaels 2 had no way of living up to the hype of the first one.
had more build up, like with Shawn having to go through the Rumble stuff than the first one, but
and then eliminating the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. All right. Angle versus Michaels going up against Warrior versus Savage.
Oh.
Two completely different matches.
Yeah, I didn't vote for it last time, but I will this time. Angle and Michaels.
Well, everyone knows this was my favorite Shawn Michaels match. So, unfortunately for Warrior and Savage, Angle and Michaels is moving on. I've already put that out there. That's my favorite match. I kind of have to keep voting for it. All right. Austin Rock 2 versus the Triangle Ladder match. Oof.
Oh, my.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, my.
Oh, boy.
Fuck.
I'll let the burden be on you, fellas. I'm going with the Triangle.
Oh, boy.
Oh. You go first.
The Triangle Ladder match is so good. But this is in my opinion, the best Austin Rock match. I'm going Austin versus Rock.
Oh my God.
Think of the scariness though of all three of those tag teams. I mean,
Jeff's selling it.
Austin, I'm a salesman, but granted, Austin and Rock are both notable names, man. But it takes two to tango. But you've got 6 bodies in that ring, and they went seamlessly together. 6 people.
Yeah, I'm going with the Triangle.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sold it. All right. Oh man. Well, Guerrero versus Mysterio going up against Undertaker and Michaels. I mean, I love 2 matches that I love both these matches. They're both so good.
This is getting impossible.
Well, I mean, we got all the good matches left.
Shawn Michaels, Undertaker for me.
Yeah. Guerrero Mysterio is good, but I mean, Undertaker Michaels is fantastic. So I don't think Jeff would have a problem with that either.
Yeah, either way, I'm cool with both of these.
So yeah, Undertaker Michaels moves on. Triple H versus Chris Jericho going up against Angle and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with the same logic I did last time. I think I don't think the crowd was into that Triple H Jericho match. I'm going with the Rousey match. Surprisingly.
Like I said, I really think the Triple H Jericho match is underrated, and I enjoy it, and so I'm gonna go Triple H Jericho. I'm gonna put the pressure on Jeff.
Oh boy. Well, fellas, the time has come. And by my same logic as the triangle match, I can't go against the multi-man match in this one. So we got to go with Rousey and Angle.
All right. All right. Warrior and Hogan going up against Undertaker versus Edge.
Oh boy. Who and Hogan?
Warrior. Remember, Warrior Hogan knocked out the ladder match, and I'm still upset about it, so I'm going Undertaker Edge. Because fuck you guys. Knocking out the ladder match that early.
I'm going Hogan and Warrior.
All right, well, Jeff is back on to you again.
Warrior Hogan.
Ooh, that's surprising.
Yeah.
That threw me off a little bit. All right. Lesnar versus Undertaker going up against Guerrero versus Angle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is rough. I don't like this anymore.
Well, have fun deciding, guys, because we're going Lesnar Taker for myself.
Nathan, I'll let you go.
I think Lesnar and Angle is gonna. I think Lesnar and Taker is gonna take it because it was a bigger moment and it was a good match.
I don't remember that match being that good. So, but it won. So I guess I can't go against it now. Hogan. Oh, 2 Savage matches. So this is gonna be great. We got Hogan versus Savage going up against Flair versus Savage. Which Savage match do you like better?
Well, Jeff is a Savage fan, so.
Oh, yeah. All right, boys. We got to go with Savage, right? Obviously. He's in both fucking options. But number one out of these two, Hogan and Savage, my friends.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Flair and Savage because I think it was a better match.
Yeah. Hogan and Savage is decent, but I feel like Flair and even though Flair and Savage kind of gets overlooked from that pay-per-view because of Hogan and Sid, but Savage Flair to me is a way better match. So, and he won in that one. So I'm gonna say Savage and Flair. Jericho versus Styles going up against Belair versus Banks.
I'll start this one out, fellas, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for
it. We're going with the women.
You know what? I completely agree.
All right, good. I didn't want to have to be the bearer of bad news on that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jericho Styles is good, but the women that match is fantastic, and probably just because it was last year and it sticks out more. Oh God. Oh no! Owen Hart versus Bret Hart going up against Edge and Foley.
What the fuck?
Oh no! So you got the technical masterpiece versus a hardcore match.
For me, it's the Harts, man.
Oh.
Wait, are Bret and Owen, like, this may be a real stupid question, but I'm having a brain fart. Were Bret and Owen, were they actually family or was it just kayfabe?
No, they're real brothers, yeah.
All right, I vote.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Harts. That match is, like I said, it's the best opening match ever. It's so good. Cesaro versus Rollins, which surprisingly moved on, going up against Michaels versus Jericho.
Michaels, Jericho for me.
Well, yeah. Between these two, yes. I didn't vote for it in the first one, but I will vote for it now. I didn't vote for either one of these matches, but the record be known. But between these two matches, yeah, Michaels and Jericho's better than Cesaro Rollins. Cesaro's great. That match was good, but it's not as good as Michaels Jericho. And the last matchup of the second round, Orton versus Rollins, which again, the biggest upset of the tournament so far, going up against Bret Hart and Steve Austin. I'll go first. Hart Austin all the way.
Your turn, Jeff.
Just because I want to cause some controversy, I'm going with Orton and Rollins.
Yeah. I gotta go Bret Hart Austin. That's one of the all-time greatest moments. So
if you would have went with Orton Rollins again, I was gonna scream. If it was gonna upset two matches, I was about to lose my fucking mind. All right. We're down to 16. And so the third round begins with Lesnar versus Angle going up against Reigns, Edge, and Bryan.
You go first.
Lesnar versus Angle. That's my pick. I'm honestly surprised Reigns, Edge, and Bryan made it out this far.
Yeah, I can't argue with mine on that.
So is it another clean sweep for Lesnar and Angle? They've clean swept every match so far.
Yeah, for me it is.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm surprised the Triple Threat made it that far. I mean, it was a good match, but I didn't expect it to beat Michaels and Hart. So we got some. All right. Hogan and Andre versus the women Triple Threat. Lynch, Rousey, and Flair.
What a weird matchup.
It's about as weird as it can get.
I bet we're the only countdown show that ever had this in the.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I don't want to feel sexist, but I'm going Andre and Hogan.
Look, Lynch, Rousey, and Flair is okay. I'll let Jeff go next in case his is different.
Man. Hogan and Andre.
Okay, I was gonna say, the women's match is good, but the botch ending just kills it for me. So yeah, Hogan, Andre, another clean sweep. Well, that's gonna be an interesting matchup next round. All right, Orton versus Triple H going up against Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. Well, I've already said Angle Michaels is my favorite match. Once again, vote for it again. I will leave it up to you two.
Well, Orton and Triple H for me, obviously.
That's Jeff's favorite match. So now, Nathan, it goes to you.
Oh man. I think I'm going Orton Triple H.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's go. You have to think of the legacy storyline, Ryan.
God. What the hell's happening on this damn thing? All right. The triangle ladder match up against Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. The first one.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
I was riding the triangle match the whole time, but when you put it up against that, oh boy.
Yeah.
This is agonizing.
I think it's hard to go against Undertaker and Michaels. Even though the triangle ladder match is fantastic. It's like a car crash every 5 seconds. But yeah, just based on a pure wrestling standpoint, because I'm not much into the hardcore stuff. I like it, but if I'm going up against a hardcore match versus a normal match, a great normal match, yeah, I'm going Undertaker Michaels. So Nathan, you don't have to worry.
Thank God, because I was about to pull out my non-existing hair.
All right, Angle and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie versus Warrior and Hogan. Again, how this tag team match made it all the way here is beyond me.
I don't know, but for me, this is where it ends for the Hogan Warrior.
I swear I thought this was going to be out first round, and it's made it. What was that, Jeff? You agree?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, me too. It had a good run. That was like a Cinderella story there. All right, Lesnar versus Undertaker going up against Savage and Flair.
Lesnar Undertaker for me.
What? Nathan, I thought I knew what kind of matches you liked, but apparently I don't. Because it's Savage Flair for me. So Jeff, I guess
Lesnar.
What? What's happening? Oh my God. All right.
Right. Aneurysm.
I'm not pulling your hair out. I'm about to. Belair versus Banks. I think the run is over as it goes up against Hart versus Hart.
Oh,
Both really good matches, though.
yeah, I'm going Hart versus Hart.
I'll make Bryan be the bad guy. I'm going Banks and Belair.
You know, this is the last women's match we have. But I can't go against Hart versus Hart. Hart versus Hart is a clinic in professional wrestling. And yeah, I got to go Hart versus Hart. Last matchup of the third round, Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho against Owen Hart or Bret Hart versus Steve Austin. Oh boy. Yeah, it's Hart Austin again for me. If we're talking moments, that's one of the biggest moments.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Okay. All right. We're almost here, guys. We got 2 more rounds to go to the final. So 4 more matchups here. First one, Lesnar versus Angle against Hogan versus Andre. I think both of these have queen swept their way through the entire tournament. So
God damn.
So this is where it comes into play. Are you wanting to go based on wrestling or moment? Because Lesnar and Angle's the best wrestling, but Hogan Andre is a moment. No one wants to go. I will go Lesnar Angle.
Oh, Jeff didn't even have to. I didn't expect that.
Hogan Andre is good, but we're talking wrestling match. I mean, all right. Oh boy, Jeff, you're about to be conflicted.
You get to go first on this one, Jeff.
Motherfucker, I just saw what it was.
Orton versus Triple H against Undertaker versus Michaels.
So I'm going to go, and I'll explain why. I'm going to go with Orton and Triple H. And why is because build-up wise, I remember the Legacy storyline and punting the shit out of the McMahon family like the back of my hand. And I can't tell you what the build-up was for Undertaker versus Shawn. I could just tell you they had one of the best Mania matches of all time.
Yeah, I don't remember much of the build-up either, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember much about Orton Triple H match, and just for that fact, I've got to go Undertaker versus Michaels. So Nathan, leaving it up to you, my friend.
Yeah, I think I gotta go. I think I gotta go Michaels Undertaker on this one.
I'm not mad about it.
Orton Triple H had a great run, man. Great run. Waited out to the Elite Eight.
I mean, honestly, for anybody listening and you too, I recommend before Mania on Saturday to go back and rewatch that Orton and frickin' Triple H like short tidbit like feud on YouTube, because this one guy on YouTube has it broken up perfectly. It's such a good feud, man. It almost brought me back into loving wrestling again.
All right. Warrior versus Hogan, which is going up against Lesnar and Undertaker, which honestly I am surprised is here. But here we go. I guess it is the biggest moment. But again, I'm going to go first just to get it out of the way. I'm going Warrior Hogan.
All right, Jeff, what do you got?
Oh boy, Lesnar, Taker.
Oh. I'm going Hogan Warrior.
Oh, the Undertaker.
That one kind of makes me a little butthurt. Not gonna lie.
Lesnar Undertaker's run has finally come to an end, and this is where I'm about to not participate in this thing anymore, even though this was my idea. Because we've got Hart versus Hart and Hart versus Austin. How do you choose?
Bigger moment. Hart versus Austin.
Jeff, go ahead and just make a decision. I don't want to make a decision.
Hart versus Austin.
Okay, thank you. It is a better moment, but Hart is such a good match. All right, final four, boys. We're here. We've got Lesnar Angle against Undertaker and Michaels. Holy shit. Holy shit. I have not voted. I don't think we've voted against Lesnar Angle this entire time, but it comes to an end here. I have to go Undertaker Michaels.
Goddamn.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, fuck it. All right, I'm gonna agree. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. You know, this is the weirdest Final Four. This is not the Final Four I was expecting.
No, not at all. I seriously thought Steamboat Savage would be here, but I'm still upset about that. But anyway, the final match in the Final Four: Hogan and Warrior, which is the biggest shock of all, against Hart and Austin.
This is a fucking weird ass.
Of these two, I don't even know how.
Jeff,
How did Hogan Warrior make it this far?
Oh boy. Damn it. Man, is it bad? No, I'm not gonna spoil your guys' picks because obviously I don't know. But is it bad that neither of these is beating Undertaker and Shawn? I already know. So for me, it doesn't matter. So I'll only break the tie.
Oh boy.
Tie.
I gotta go Stone Cold and Brett.
I have to too. Cookies. I'm almost done. I gotta go Hart Austin as well. Hogan Warrior. I honestly am surprised it made it as far as it did. I mean, it knocked out the ladder match, which I'm still mad about too. So our finals, which is not what one match is what I expected. Our final matchup to crown in the most scientific way possible. This is legit. This will go down in history. This is it. This match that we picked will be the greatest WrestleMania match ever for the end of time. Undertaker versus Michaels against Hart versus Austin. I mean, can you, like Jeff said, can you really go against Undertaker Michaels? I mean, the visual of Austin, I mean, that is basically like what kicked off the rise of all. He was already getting there, and this was like the start of the Attitude Era here.
Yeah, you can build it up all you want, but yeah, it ain't beating Austin.
I tried my hardest, but yeah, there's no way it's beating Undertaker Michaels. There's no way. Undertaker Michaels is like the greatest match of all time. Not just WrestleMania, like of any match ever.
You know, a match that I feel, honestly, it wasn't a Mania match, but a match that I feel would give Michaels and Undertaker a run for its money is honestly Walter versus Ilya for the UK Championship.
So, well, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have decided it. No more debate from anybody else in the world. No more talk. The greatest WrestleMania match of all time, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25. What a time that was. My head hurts. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this journey to crown the best WrestleMania match ever. This was a lot of fun.
Pretty sure everybody is going to disagree with our tournament here.
I think a lot of people are going to be mad like I was that Savage and Steamboat was out in the first fucking round. And the ladder match. But, again, we did this random. There was no, I did not select them in any way. I just threw them in a randomizer, put them in here. So this is how it happened. We thank you for joining us. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend because this will be out. This is Friday probably when this is out. So enjoy WrestleMania weekend. It should be a lot of fun. Check out our website, www.ssspod.com, for all the latest info and news that we will drop there. You can get a list of every single podcast episode and YouTube video we've ever done right there on the website, so you don't have to go anywhere else. Check out the Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. All that is at SabraiENT. You guys have anything else you want to say before we get off here?
I'm actually excited for once that WrestleMania weekend kicks off technically on a Saturday with a noon start time of TakeOver.
It's not TakeOver anymore. It's just Stand and Deliver.
Well, whatever the hell it is. To me, it's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah. Nathan, you got anything else to say?
WrestleMania is going to be very interesting this year. That's all I got to say.
So stay tuned. Since this is Friday when this is out, and tomorrow morning we will be having our big WrestleMania predictions and Stand and Deliver preview and ROH preview and all that fun stuff. Even though the ROH show will be over by the time that's posted, but whatever. So we'll have a big WrestleMania preview, predictions, all that fun stuff. I am the current champion. The belt fell off the wall, but it's back there. So I'll be defending my belt, all that on the wrestling podcast. Plus, we'll be talking about the week that was in wrestling. Has some pretty good shows, I feel like. So should be a lot of fun. So that's going to do it. We thank you for listening and watching. No matter how you did, we appreciate you. Share this with all your friends that are wrestling fans because this could ruffle some feathers. So thank you for listening and watching. We appreciate you. For Jeff and Nathan, I am Ryan, reminding you to always score if you can, save if you must, but always suplex when necessary.
Later.
See ya.